Deep in the heart of the city, amidst the towering skyscrapers and the ceaseless hum of urban life, a horrific crime had been committed. A man named Mark, consumed by rage and jealousy, had savagely assaulted his girlfriend, Sarah, leaving her battered and broken. The act was heinous, a betrayal of love and trust that sent shockwaves through their circle of friends and family. Sarah, a once vibrant and vivacious woman, was now a shadow of her former self. Her spirit crushed, her body bearing the marks of Mark's cruelty. The incident had shattered her life, leaving her vulnerable and afraid. In the aftermath of the assault, Sarah's friends and family rallied around her, offering support and compassion. But amidst the outpouring of love, there was a simmering rage, a desire for justice that burned like an inferno. Amongst them was Mark's best friend, David. A man of quiet strength and unwavering loyalty, David had always held Mark in high regard. But the assault on Sarah had shattered that bond, replaced by a deep-seated disgust and a thirst for vengeance. David couldn't bear the thought of Mark walking free, of escaping the consequences of his heinous act. As the weeks turned into months, David's obsession with revenge grew stronger. He spent countless hours devising elaborate plans, meticulously plotting Mark's downfall. His mind became a battleground of conflicting emotions, torn between his unwavering friendship with Mark and his burning desire to see him brought to justice. One night, as David sat alone in his apartment, the weight of his obsession became unbearable. He couldn't stand the thought of Mark living his life, unaffected by the pain he had inflicted on Sarah. He had to act to make Mark pay for his crimes. With a newfound determination, David embarked on his plan. He started by planting evidence, subtly incriminating Mark in petty crimes and misdemeanors. He watched with satisfaction as Mark's reputation crumbled, his once respected name tarnished by suspicion and distrust. But David's thirst for revenge wasn't satiated. He wanted to inflict pain, to make Mark feel the same terror and helplessness that Sarah had endured. He devised a plan to break Mark's spirit, to strip him of everything that held meaning in his life. One evening, as Mark was driving home from work, a car suddenly swerved into his lane, causing him to lose control and crash into a tree. The impact was devastating, leaving Mark with serious injuries and a permanent disability. As Mark lay in the hospital, his life hanging in the balance, David watched with a twisted sense of satisfaction. He had achieved his goal, bringing Mark to his knees. But even in his weakened state, Mark still managed to hold on to a glimmer of hope, a belief that his life would someday return to normal. David, however, had no intention of letting that happen. He had one final act of vengeance planned, a cruel and calculated act that would push Mark over the edge. He would destroy Mark's source of solace, the one thing that had kept him going through his ordeal, his relationship with Sarah. With meticulous planning and careful manipulation, David orchestrated a series of events that would tear Mark and Sarah apart. He planted seeds of doubt, fed rumors and lies, until the fragile bond between them shattered into 1,000 pieces. Sarah, already struggling with the aftermath of the assault, was devastated by Mark's betrayal. She felt utterly alone, abandoned by the man she had once loved and trusted. The pain was unbearable, a constant reminder of Mark's cruelty and David's twisted machinations. As Mark watched his relationship crumble, his last hope of redemption slipping away, he realized the full extent of David's revenge. He had been played, manipulated, and ultimately destroyed by his own best friend. The realization was crushing, a weight that threatened to crush his spirit. In the end, David achieved his goal of vengeance. Mark was left broken, both physically and emotionally. His life had been shattered, his dreams and aspirations reduced to ashes. He was a prisoner of his own actions, a reminder of the monstrous act he had committed. But David's victory was bittersweet. The satisfaction of seeing Mark suffer was eclipsed by the realization of the destruction he had caused. He had lost a friendship, a bond that could never be repaired. And in the process, he had become a monster himself, consumed by hatred and vengeance. The story of Mark and Sarah is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of jealousy and rage. It's a story of love, betrayal, and the consequences of our actions. And ultimately, it's a story of redemption, of finding the strength to forgive, even in the face of unimaginable cruelty. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like this video. Bye-bye.